All right, shifts. How we doing today? I
Good.
see Khan's here, and
Yeah,
I'm just Khan.
it's just me, the one-man crew.
Yep, it's graveyard shift tonight. You know how it goes. So,
Yeah.
Light staff. But
wait, is there a way to
today
set
it's,
the daytime? Can we set time to night? That would be awesome.
Nah, that would be awesome. We are 0 days injury free, and we're 0 days incident free.
I heard the guy walked away unscathed though. That's what the boys
okay.
were talking about it when they were coming off the shift, and I heard he walked away unscathed. So
but Brakeman Timmy lost a finger with the
no
Lincoln
one
pin
liked
going
Timmy.
on.
No one really liked Timmy. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still an injury, so we got to talk about it. Yeah, so this is the report of an injury to a 67-year-old brakeman.
Oh boy,
Timmy.
Timmy
he was on
whole.
duty for 15 and a half hours, and he states that he was inserting the link into the knuckle on the Lincoln pin, and the engineer pushed the slack in, and it broke his finger.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking about the climax on the side of the hill. That day shift
wait,
left.
the what?
Day shift. There was an engine. They left it on the side of the hill. They said in a quote parked position is what I've.
Well,
I don't know.
So
I
I guess that explains. The assistant general foreman called me. It's my day off. He called me and said, you need to go up to the helper station. Brief night shifts because they got to go rescue the engine, and I guess we're night shift. Did day shift fire up the engine for us?
No, they didn't.
No.
The engine's
What else?
cold.
What does day shift do?
Day shift
All
also
of the
they also
employees,
left
and what
all
do
the
they do?
empties at the iron mine.
My
they left,
God!
Yeah, I know. Day shift was really slacking.
Do they even know how to run around?
I found a set
don't
of
think they
keys
do.
in the dirt actually out front the engine house, and they were just sitting there.
They just okay.
They just
That's
like
where
lightly on top of the dirt. I don't know what happened, and this is the mess that we've come back to. So anyway, we gotta kind of clean up day shift's mess, and
All right, well let's get to it. We actually have a railroad to run unlike day shift, so we best get after it.
Day shift has 14 managers for 7 employees. It's very important that they are well managed.
It's the efficiency. Con, don't you understand?
No, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It was actually funny when I worked in automotive.
Bring it back.
Not to take away from our railroading experience, but there were more. I did the math. There were more managers per employees than there are teachers per kindergarten students in a class.
That's amazing.
So like you have like 1 teacher per 30 kindergartners, maybe like 1 per 20 on a good end. We had 1 per 15. We were like,
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I think about it for day shift at my shop, it was the same way.
Yeah.
They weren't direct supervisors, but management in general, yeah.
Right, so you think you're a responsible adult. There are kindergartners with less supervision than you. So
oh my God. Night shift gets away just fine with all of the old drunks, the people that hate the day, that are that actually
vampires
burn in sunlight,
and
then all of the children who can't hold a position.
Yeah,
on the
I don't
railroad
understand
yet.
how that works. And for some reason, like stuff still got done.
Right?
I don't.
It was hilarious. Every day at the NSF, they would send out the big mechanical stats a couple different times a day to see how all the shops are doing. And they had trends. And you'd look at most of the shops, they'd be pretty consistent. And our shop, because we were the smallest of the big shops, it was regular that you'd see, like, target of motors to release, supposed to release 5 motors, okay? And it would be like, on average, day shift had half of a locomotive released.
Yeah, that
and
sounds
then
about right.
3 or 4 of the 5 would be released by end of second shift at 10 p.m. And then by midnight, on average, it was like 4.95. So it's like, well, third shift, night shift, coming in clutch with 2 hours to go. Oh, I'm running now?
Yeah,
I mean,
we're gonna pull these ones back and then push them onto the rest, and then we gotta turn the locomotive around.
Right.
Because we should probably go down forward, and then we'll deal with rescuing Climax later. That's Climax.
Yeah, we need to grab that on the
she's
way
a
back.
special one.
It's fine.
You guys call locomotives girls? Are locomotives all?
Locomotives are all girls. Yes.
They're all girls on the railroad.
Is
there any exceptions?
Tradition.
What are cars men, or are they all? Everything's girls. They're all just.
Cars don't seem to get the same attention. Like rail cars are just whatever.
Cars.
Locomotives are all women.
It's that meme. I prefer not to get attached to the cars. So that way when they end in the dirt,
fine.
I don't feel bad about it. They're just.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
why that started. Why did they start calling pieces of equipment, female? I don't.
Well, I'm pretty sure it comes like everything. It comes from sailing and nautical things, right?
What,
Like
and they're
that's where almost all of the traditions of everything come from.
If you had a schedule, right, on the railroad, and then you couldn't keep your schedule, like, for whatever reason, something had, like, you don't have time to bring, like, what do they do? Do they submit? Do they have to submit the schedule to anybody and be like, yo, bro, we didn't do this? Or do they just kind of, like, put their stuff and leave?
Oh, for like train crew when they're out on the railroad. So I mean, a lot of it isn't really scheduled. Like ultimately, like they have schedules for freight trains. Like okay, this is the 2300 queue for the big trains. Like oh yeah, a big stack train. It's got to leave at 11 p.m. So they have scheduled departures and they try to make that sort of stuff. But like scheduling switch moves and yard jobs and stuff, there's a tentative thing. But the crew starts when the crew starts. Usually, if you've got like a bid switch job, like it's a yard job. Like the Renton Rocket down in Seattle. The one job that I remember the job name because it was 737 because they went in RNWE 737 because they'd go switch out the Boeing plant, bring the airplanes in and everything.
Wait, the boat, they transport stuff on or just
God,
components?
have you never seen this? They take 737 fuselages across the country on trains.
On a train?
Have you never seen this? Oh
No,
man, we're teaching con stuff today.
I don't know the width of that. Isn't a 737 fuselage wider than standard train track?
They are wider than the track by a lot, and they're wider than standard rail cars, but they're not so wide that they can't be transported. I would see them all the time across the
You would have to do some crazy
railroad
scheduling though, because you couldn't have a double track like a second train going by. It would clip the.
No, they have clearance on dual track.
Really?
Yeah, they're not that wide, and actually, like that's part of the reason why the 737 size the way it is. I think I don't know. I actually don't know the history on that. Some aviation person does, I'm sure. There was a dedicated set of power for that job because they go into the Boeing factory. Like, they are on Boeing property and all this stuff.
Was it Boeing paid for power? Like, did they buy the locomotives?
No, I think they just got really, really mad when we sent junk at them. So they assigned 4 locomotives, 4 Jeeps that were recently rebuilt. They were nice. And train crew and yard masters being yard masters, they always pilfered them for whatever power. Like they had some unholy shortage, so they'd always steal the power. And it wasn't so important like the Boeing Hill job up in Everett, where they had special modified locomotives that they had to have. This one was just, they assigned these ones because they're nice and rebuilt, and they're not likely to do anything too naughty. And so then there was the day that they sent an unrebuilt piece of crap Jeep 38 from like 1970 that hadn't seen the shop like for a Class 1 overhaul in probably 30 years. And they sent that leading the fuselages in, and then Boeing sent a nice phone call to the CEO of BNSF saying, "Why are my fuselages covered in diesel engine oil?"
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, I can see that being the
blowing past the rings and just absolutely washing all the oil down the brand new airplanes.
I'm trying to see if we can re-rail this somehow onto one of these cars, and
that could be a vibe. We could build a spline up to it and then shove it on.
True.
That would be a silly vibe.
Right, or we could build a spline above these cars.
Yeah.
And then drop it.
Yeah, the wheels were damaged, obviously, right?
Exactly. It's got to come back on. We got to make this work, man. Have you ever seen like people lay temporary track to re-rail stuff? Like, is that?
I've never seen one that bad that they had to do that. The worst derailment I saw was at BNSF. Car shop foreman across the street from me, and I say across the street, but it was across the mains from me, calls me on the radio, and he goes, "Hey, can you come look at this?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We got a locomotive on the ground over here." It's like, "Oh boy!" I pulled a camera over because we had a bunch of PTZ cameras and everything, and they had a -9, big 6-axle GE, and they put every single wheel in the dirt, and they basically had it centered over a rail, and it was actually resting on the fuel tank. They were lucky it didn't puncture the fuel tank, but punctured the gear cases of 3 of the traction motors, so that's 3 junk traction motors. So there went $90,000.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's just pretend that
bad time. I'm not. No. Okay, I didn't see it.
Dude, this whole thing is kind of. Let's pretend we had a crane. We don't have a crane. We're just pretending we had a crane. Is this gonna work?
It's fine.
This is gonna be amazing if it works. You gotta spot me here.
A little bit more. There you go, right there. No, back it up. Like 2 foot. Right there. All right.
Really?
And the piece de resistance.
Yay! It does not look. It does not look good, sir. I don't.
These cars are not rated for an entire climax.
I don't. Well, the trucks are not lined up as well as I was hoping. Oh,
no.
Interesting.
No.
Oh well,
no.
this is cool.
No. 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 No.
Does that mean the brake is gonna break? No, the brake doesn't work. I have the brake on 100%, and these are still rolling. Okay, perfect. Let's hook up the rest. Let's go home.
Sorry, I quit Railroads Online. I'll be right back.
Oh, did you? I don't think we were supposed to do this.
That's how that
can
works.
Can you pin me on the last?
Yes, as soon as you get another half car back, sure.
I'm scared of moving too quickly here. That's all.
It's understandable. We have this very strange load.
Okay, calm down. Third shift for the win. Let's go.
Yeah, man, we got this.
Go third shift. Oh, I'm flat spotting. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna tie
I love how
another brake for you.
It's just chugging along.
It's just like it was teetering
Bro,
around
look
that
at
corner.
look at these flat spots. Look at down the whole hill. Look at this.
Just the flattest wheels.
We're gonna make this into a ski. It's gonna become. Wow, we are still picking up. You want to turn on that tender brake maybe a little bit?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, we're flat spotting the tender too. We gotta make it.
I want to get this thumbnail.
Amazing. Dude, I can't believe this works. It's awesome. It like sticks to the spline when it.
The existence is pain.
This is perfect, dude. This is perfect. Just hard flat spotting the entire train as we go down.
The fact that the climax's wheels are spinning and yours are not right now.
Management wants you to find 10 things wrong with this picture.
There is one video on the internet that is one of my favorite videos on the internet. I think it's a YouTube short now since things got converted over. And perfect. It is just titled Screaming Parrot. And it is just a cockatoo that is sitting there with the perfect like existential dread scream just going like
that's Hyce's railroad brain right now.
For 30 seconds. That is my brain right now. That is the sound that is playing rent free in my head right now.
It's funny, I used to work like days and afternoon splits. I would go back and forth between the two. I also worked midnight shifts before and stuff, and like I always enjoyed working on the off shifts compared to day shift. It just, right. It wasn't like the work was any different. You still got stuff done. You didn't just slack off all night. It was just less stressful. Show up, you do your stuff, you leave, you go to bed, you wake up at 10 a.m.
The thing that gets me, like day shift, it started super early, so like it was nice that you got out and get away from the traffic. Yeah, 6 at my shop. It was nice in that you could like go out and have a day and like enjoy the sunshine if there was any. I mean, it was Seattle. We need to make a little rescue train that's like 3 or 4 flats and a caboose and one engine, and that's agreed. Like the rescue train. Yeah.
And we'll paint them a different color. The flats a different color.
Yeah, MOW. That's the
it'll be the MOW train.
Well, I guess it's not MOW, is it? I don't know. What craft are the people who come?
Third shift. Train? It's the third shift train.
The third shift train. Dedicated locomotive for the wrecking train.
Yeah, I mean, and then unless we bin that one too, but.
Well, it's fine. And then where's your god now? Who will save you then?
This is so great. You know what the best part about this is? We're moving way faster than the climax ever could.
Right. Yeah, this is the fastest the climax has ever gone.
Yeah.
Fine.
You can hop in the cab there and just like, look at me, guys. This is like that Thomas the Tank Engine you were talking about.
Yes, riding along in the dumpster. The fire hasn't gone all the way cold yet. That's why I was like, there's no fuel in the fire, and it's not changing the boiler.
Are you going backwards right now? I turned off the train completely.
Did you?
Yeah. So
all right, I got you, fam.
If you go backwards, are you just powering us, or
I'm going backwards. I'm gonna put more fuel in it.
Don't go above 90%, because then you get into the wheel slip zone.
Yeah, it's like at 89%, I think, right now.
Yeah, and you're out of sand too. I'm literally not touching anything. I think we're still moving. Like, there's no way this is momentum. We're going up 2%.
I can't get wood in the firebox.
That's good. Here, I'll come help. Don't worry about it. We'll just... Railroads online! Railroads online!
This is an accurate simulation.
This is what
of railroading in the
1890s...
American
Wait, I
Midwest.
actually can't throw fire in the firebox. What? You can, like, see
It's
it.
the same...
Oh, there we
same
go.
Oh,
There
okay,
we
there
go.
you go.
Okay.
You got it. Alright.
Yeah, no, we're moving under your steam.
This is just the most advanced railroading I've ever seen.
So now the question is, if we had, like, 10 climaxes on 10 cars...
Well, I think we've got a new episode plot, Con.
Oh god, I felt. Would we generate more tractive effort that way? That's the question. Without wheel slip, right?
Con, I know a lot of things about trains. I really don't know how to do self-propelled flat car via climax tonnage map.
Well, we're.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, it's actually like you're actually going at full climax speed. It's amazing. We are kind of cheating though because you know technically that engine is broken, so we should go back to.
Yeah, this is cheating, as hilarious as it is. Alright, I've shut off.
Dude, this is ridiculous. I can't believe this. Like, what are we even doing right now?
We're doing, you know, we're rescuing the climax, man.
Just bringing
Day shift binned it. And third shift, we're doing some witchcraft.
You said there's train cars that have, or there's truck trailers that have rails on them, right? So you could drive a locomotive onto a truck.
I mean, it depends.
Do they have train cars with rails built into them too that you can drive a locomotive onto?
I'm sure they exist somewhere. It's not commonly used because most locomotives these days are super heavy for that. Like,
right.
The ones that I'm talking about when I talk about, oh yeah, we have, you know, a truck trailer that's got rails and whatever. That's for moving like 20 or 346, our little engines that are like 40 tons.
Right.
Which, you know, is big for a piece of iron, right? But like for a locomotive, that's actually not that much.
So what happens if you have a locomotive that's like literally stranded somewhere, can't run? You just go get another locomotive and drag it?
Oh god, so this is like one of the biggest nightmares on the railroad, and it happened all of the time. It was like probably once a month, at least on BNSF in my territory, we would have either a gear case lock up on the traction motor so the wheel wouldn't spin anymore,
right?
Or something would go so wrong. It was called a level 1 defect. They had like 9 levels of defects and all these other weird letter defects, but level 1 meant this is so broken it cannot be moved. And usually you would respond to the issue, send guys out, whatever, and you'd have to get it off the main, get it to a siding. So whether that meant greasing the rails and dragging the thing up into the next siding in the clear, or it meant that, you know, you had to lift it in place, or just depending on kind of where it broke down. But there's almost always a place you could drag it to, and it's like, well, that wheel is going to be screwed anyway. Like, the motor's already done, so it doesn't matter. We're going, okay, you got it, cool. It doesn't matter, you know, so drag it, do what you got to do, and then they will call out one of the crane contractors and crane the engine up in the air, pick it up off its trucks, or roll the truck out, pick the truck off the traction motors, and then put an idler wheel set in that has no traction motor, and then they can send it to a shop to be finally actually repaired. But it's just a quick Band-Aid to get it off the railroad, because it's no good sitting there with a locked wheel. Right. And man, that was all the time, and that's a pretty involved process, and some really, really good machinists would have to go sometimes, if they didn't have a good siding close enough to just shove to or grease the rails or whatever, you'd have to send the machinist to go cut the pinion on the gear case. And so you'd have to get up in there with a acetylene torch from his work truck and cut through so that the wheel would actually roll. And then they could ship it wherever and get it to a shop and all that, or get it to a siding and then do the lift in the field, because it wasn't ideal to move around with a broken gear case and all that. So I remember we had, well, I'll have to tell this whole story someday, but we had one of those lock flats that ended up just being a planning nightmare at the shop. BNSF 6324. Why do I remember the road numbers? I don't know. But it came in and it sat around at the shop for like 6 weeks to get repaired, which, I mean, it's a one-shift fix. So it was just this whole poop show of material problems, scheduling problems, all kinds of things that made it happen. But the whole time it's like people weren't prioritizing it, and I'm sitting there going, the metric that we had at the time was it was $5,000 a day that you would lose if that locomotive wasn't in service. And so we had this locomotive at the shop for 6 weeks, and it needed 1 day to fix. $5,000 a day for 6 weeks. And it's like, oh my God, guys. Like, can we please run the railroad? What are you doing?
So we're gonna hump this, because...
No, what?
We might as well. We're back. We're back at the shop. So I go grab the Mosca there, bring it back on the hump. I'll push these into you on the hump with the rest of those empties.
Okay.
Right? We'll push the whole, and then we'll hump all the empties.
We're gonna hump the climax.
Well, we gotta put everything together, right? So I'll go ahead of it all. And then
I have always wanted to hump the climax.
Back, yeah. And then I'll back into it. But just make sure when I drive by if there's a pin on the back of mine or not. I don't know what the situation is there.
Sure.
So I'll go way past, and then you could just back up all the way down the lead, or you can pin in if you want. Doesn't matter. I could push these into you, and then you can just push them, and then you'll be fine.
There is no pin on that last one.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll just back up, and then you just shove them on me, and then I shove them over the hump. We give them a little humping.
Yeah, I'm gonna pin this one though, so I can connect all these stake flats back together.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize we had more over there because I can't see.
Yeah, because we.
You got to remember, I'm extremely nearsighted unless you're.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You need glasses, and they
haven't
haven't been invented until like 1920 something, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. I can't see the climax go over the hump.
Oh, okay. Well, you can
I'm just gonna set the throttle and be a good engineer and run out of the cab. And
yeah,
I don't know my POV is now that of a 6-inch tall man, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Just crouch and uncrouch, and it'll work. This is ridiculous.
Oh, there we go.
Why are we doing this? Is the question.
I don't know.
Oh, is it gonna make it? Oh, did you give it enough?
Once the boat anchor that the climax gets over the top.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Once the boat anchors. Look at it go.
This is officially the stupidest thing I think I've seen in this video game. Did you leave the climax's brake on?
Next level railroading, bro. Oh, I got a brake. I'll get the front car brake here. We'll be fine. We got to roll for a bit. You might want to turn off the Mosca,
the engine
though,
out
so
into the shop.
Go get your tender again, man.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know we got to put it in the shop. I'm just gonna re-rail it to the shop. You know, we got it close enough. I mean, I feel like no one's gonna argue.
Now you're gonna 050 it after all of this.
No one's gonna argue that we didn't bring it all the way to the shop. We don't have a crane, man. We need a crane. We would crane it to the shop from here.
Let us know in the comments. You're gonna have to let us know if you think Con 050ing it at this point is fine.
Yeah, you know what? If you don't think this is legit, we transported the whole freaking locomotive on a trailer. Okay. How much money do you have, by the way? We need a shay.
I have 2565.
2565. How much is a shay?
I think they're 29 or 3200, maybe.
Are you making excuses to not buy a shay? They are 2500 even, sir.
Are they really?
Yeah. We need to have two shays. We need two shays, and we need to call them Humpty and Dumpty, and they need to be back to back and humping engines.
Oh.
I'm just saying. We have to look at it at some point. It's like it's really
okay. I'm pretty sure the Zoomy boy is just thoughtfully tucked away in the left track, so I'm gonna line you to the right track.
All right, so we're just gonna give you 100%.
Yeah, they're fixing it anyway, so you might as well
the brake. There we go. How's your immersion this episode?
It's real good.
We're gonna need some new doors on the shed.
Been real good all episode. Dunk.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, you're gonna have to hit it again because it's gonna roll out the shop.
Well, you should put the brake on. I'm not there.
No, it's rolling out the shop. Con, we need look. No, Con, we need your help. Help me, Obi-Wan Wanobi. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. Junk. I guess I'm gonna put the brake on this time.
I derailed, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean the Mosca didn't derail either. This thing has no brake pressure.
I lost my tender.
This thing has no brake pressure.
I have no tender. I have no tender.
You ever feel like
the
you're
shop
playing a
is
game
flat.
of bumper
Why
cars?
does he keep coming backwards?
It's got a really bouncy buffer. Okay.
Is it done? Is it done?
Trains. Thanks for watching, everybody.